Hello, my fellow coders. Today we are building a contact book app in a command line interface, as you can see here in the demo. So let's get started with adding a contact. Let's say Zon Doe 92568325, and then we have an email john@gmail.com, and we're going to add another contact as well. That is gonna be Zane Doe, and then this will be 8274, and email will be zane@gmail.com. We have successfully added the contact. Let's view the contacts. As you can see, we have Zane Doe, a number, and the email, and John Doe, the number, and the email. Now, let's search for one of them. Let's search for Zane. As you can see, I wrote everything in small case, but it has a capital case here, but we'll still get the results. As you can see, we still got the results found. Zane@gmail.com. Now, let's update. Let's say we have mistaken Zane's number. So what we are going to do is enter contact number to update. So we are going to copy this and we're going to paste this invalid index. So what this means is we did not make a mistake here. What we need to do is not add this, but add this too. As you can see, leave it blank, keep old values. I want the name is right. The phone number we need to change. So this is the new number we want, and Zane our email is the same one. We do not need to change it. Now let's view all the contacts. As you can see, it's been updated from the old one. As you can see, this was the old one. We got the new one. So that is it. And let's delete John. Let's add one and deleted John. So if we view the list again, there is no John. For 6, we exit. So this is the app we are going to build today. So let's get started. So to start, we are going to create a list called contacts, and this will store our dictionary with contact. Next, we are going to define main loop like we always do. Everything in this program will run through this the function. Let's define the function, and let's start with a while loop. True. Let's print a menu here, and we're going to copy this and paste it here. So next we are going to add the menu inside these two blocks. So 1, add contact. 2, view contact. 3, search contact. 4, delete contact. 5, we have an update contact here, so this will be 5 and this will be 6 as exit, and then we have update contact here. Now what we are going to do is give user a choice. Input, enter your choice. If choice equals to 1, for now we are going to write pass. Same for this, same for this, same for this as well, because we are going to make a function for each one of them to make it modular and easy to read and easy to edit later. And we're going to, for this one, we're going to print exiting and break it here. And finally, we have one last else, print invalid choice. And we're going to add try again. So before we forget, what we need to do is every time we run this app, we need to check if there is a function named main, and if there is, please run this function. Now let's start with the first one. We have add contact. Let's define a function for that. So first we are going to print add contact. Then we are going to add name. Input, enter your name, email, enter your email, and phone number, enter your phone number. And then we are going to save it in a contact dictionary called contact as name, email, and phone number. So this will be saved inside contacts here. This contact dictionary is stored inside this contacts list. So before moving forward, let me just show you how this is saved. First we have the contacts list, and then we have something like this, which is a dictionary that is saved inside a contact. And then we have a phone here, right? Yeah. Dictionary closes, and next one, and the dictionary closes, and finally we'll close the list. So each of the dictionary will be saved as an item in the list. This is called nested list and dictionary. So we have learned about this in the previous video. You can go check it out. Now next, before we move on to view contact, we have to add the function we just created here, add contact, because choice add contact. Now that we have added the add contact, next we are going to add view contacts. So what we are going to do, define view contact. Now we are going to print this. First, we are going to check the length of the contact. And if it's 0, that means we do not have any contacts. So we're just going to print no contacts. It will save us runtime and memory. So let's go with else. What if we do have some contacts? Then we are going to for loop through the contacts for I and contact in contacts. Why did we use enumerate? Let me just explain this. We have I, that is the index, that will give us the index of the list, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is what we learned previously. And then we have contact, that is the actual item we have. So we have a small problem here. When we make use index, it will be I dot and contact, right? And when it's printed in the actual code or in the actual output, it will be. So what we saw here, 0. So no contact or no list starts with 0. That's why what we need to do is add 1 to the list. So and that way the list will start with 1. So let's see this in practice. Print, let's do a f string, and then we're going to do I plus 1 dot, and we are going to do contact, the actual contact, the keyword name, because that's what we used for the key name, email, and phone of the 3 keys of the contact. That way we'll get the exact value. So next, we'll print a space here, so it's easy for us to differentiate two different contacts. And also in add contact, I forgot something. Print contact added successfully. So moving forward, what we need is search contact, but before that we need to add it here, the view contact we just made. So next we are going to make search contacts. Search contacts, def search contacts, print search contacts. And now for this, let me just show you something. We need two things. One is keyword, right? This is something the user searches for, and in our context we are going to use the name. Now, like I showed in the demo, it could be something like this. Keyword would be something like, they would give us John, but the saved name could be JON. And in Python, this is not equal to this. So that's why we need to make sure that this is lower and this is John, this is John, and this is John as well. To do that, we are going to use dot lower. So let's see this in practice. First, let's take a keyword as input, enter name to search, and then we are going to create a flag in Boolean false. And next, what we're going to do is we're going to start with for contact and contacts, and then while we loop through it, we are going to check if the keyword is inside the contact. If keyword dot lower in contact name dot lower. So we did keyword John, and this converted to John using this dot lower and dot lower. So that is an easy way to actually find the contact. Now let's print it using our f string, and we need one more thing here, contact phone. Now before moving forward, let's also do found, and let's set found to true, and if it is not found, then we're going to print contacts were found. Now let's add this to our third choice, search contact. Next, what we are going to do is to update. We are going to update the contacts. Define update contact. So to do this, what we need to do is first print contact, and then first we need to show them that we have this number of contacts you can edit. So view contacts. That this is also another reason we use functions. See, we can reuse the view contacts we used here again without making the code longer. So now let's go with, if length of the contacts is 0, then return empty, return nothing. Now, if this is not the case, then we are going to ask for index input. That means we're going to ask for the enter the contact number update. So this does not mean the number as in the phone number. What we are asking for is the list number that we are going to get here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. And here what we are going to do is -1. We forgot something here. We need to add input and make sure this is using int, because we are using our arithmetic operation here. That is why we need to make sure it's int here. Otherwise, we'll get an error. Next, what we can do is if 0 of 0 is less than or equals to index input and less than len contacts. This means it should be inside the range of the contact. The index input should be inside the range of the contact, means it should be available in the contact. So if it is available, what we can do next is contact equals to contacts dot index input and print leave blank to keep old value. Now name equals to input, enter, not this, enter new name. And we also need to give them, let's make this f string, and we also need to give them the old name for reference. And same way we are going to do it for email and phone number. And if name, if they have given us the name, we are going to do contact.name. And if they have given us the phone number, we are going to do contact.phone. And if they have given us the email, we are going to do this. And then we are going to print contact updated successfully. Else, so what we can do is print invalid index. And that is how we update the contact. Now, next we have, before going to the next, again, we need to add it to here, update contact. And next we have us. We have delete contact. Let's make a delete contact. Delete contact. It's similar to our update contact. Let's just first define this, and then we are going to view contacts. See, we are reusing our functions again and again. So next what we have to do is if len contacts is similar as 0, then return empty, else index input and contact detail. I told you it's pretty similar. So this time from here there is going to be something different. What we're going to do is removed equals to contacts dot pop index contact, and then we are going to print f deleted, removed or deleted. Let's add deleted, removed name, just the name. We're just gonna print the name. So yeah, else if it is not inside the range of the contact, we are gonna print invalid index. So that is how we delete the contact. If we add this, our app is completed. So it was pretty easy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a montage of me doing the demo again, so we can see if it works as we intended. So that is it for today, and if you haven't subscribed or accessed the playlist, please do. It's in the screen here, and in the next video we'll be starting with file handling in Python. Stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Happy coding, keep coding.